Hi love, it's Neva, and today we're going to be renovating the Goth Manor in Pleasantview. Now this video is, a bit of a long one. I think it's like an hour and 20 minutes, so if you want to just put this on in the background as you're doing other stuff, because I tend to do that with longer videos, or if you just plan on doing other things, I don't know, strap in, buckle up, get yourself a nice cup of tea, and we're going to be locked in for quite a while together. The first thing I do with any renovation is just get rid of everything that I don't really view as necessary. So all the furniture, the wallpaper, the flooring, everything like that I know I'm going to replace at some point in the future, I just get rid of it just to give myself that peace of mind to know that these things aren't in the way, and it gives me a lot more freedom to kind of see what I'm working with. Getting rid of everything gives you a lot more money. Obviously the Goths have like 500 grand or something, like half a million when you start up the game, so you don't have to worry about like them not having any money. They have too much of it actually. But for cases like Don Lothario in the last renovation I did, where he has a bit more of a stricter budget, it's kind of good to keep that in mind. Now, initially, I did want them to have a basement, like a secret underground there. But as I was building the house, as I continued to build it, I realized that they had so much space, especially because I added an attic near the end. And I just realized, like, why would I also like have an attic and a basement? They already have so much space already. So having that basement is just too much. Maybe if I want to do some expansions, possibly a basement. But for now, I feel like a basement's kind of excessive. So I did eventually get rid of that later on the speed builds. I vividly remember saying that I didn't want to make the houses smaller, but in my defense, right, I had to make the front part of the Goth Manor smaller because I wanted a two-tile door, like a really big grand door, because I want this house to feel grand and rich and really like luxurious, feeling like old money. But when I made it one tile bigger, the scaling was just off. It just looked weird. And I tend to have this thing where I make houses a bit too big if I'm not like being cognizant of it. So I was like, I don't want to make this house look really bulky and girthy. Like that's no thank you. So I had to make it a bit smaller, but overall I think it really does the house good because the house looks like really nice with it being one tile smaller. But yeah, I had to make it smaller. I don't know what to tell you. I have always wanted to use this grand staircase that came in the game, not the base game, but just the vanilla game. And I literally had no reason to because I mainly build modern builds and I don't really build these grand like manors and stuff. But I finally like had an excuse to use it. So I was so happy that I was able to use it. Plus they're also like an even number, which can be a bit odd, no pun intended, because obviously doors tend to be one tile and so it's hard to really center them, but it was literally perfect for this house. So I was fighting for my life trying to get the floor plan to really fit these staircases because I really wanted to use the staircase. I did actually get a comment on my Dawn renovation. Someone was saying how they saw the laundry machines, like the washing machine, the dryer, and they were like, oh, what expansion pack was this? Of course, I replied saying it's not an expansion pack, it's a mod pack, but I just thought I'd say in the video, the laundry machines that I use, they're not like purely decoration. They're actually a mod by Sun and Moon Star Factory. On you can get them on Tumblr, but it's like functional laundry. So when your Sims change outfits, they'll drop laundry piles, and then you have to pick them up and wash them and wash them with powder and all that kind of stuff. So it is really fun to use. I use a lot of Sun and Moon Star Factory mods, and they're great. I love them. But yeah, the laundry mod is really good. I do recommend that. I actually was watching a speed build ages ago. It was a Sims 2 speed build and they were renovating Blue Water Village. I think it was Florence de la Rosa, like flowers. I'm pretty sure it was like a flower shop. And what this person did was like so genius is they used constraint floor elevation to make the floor with 4 click tile like a foundation height, and then used these fences by Curious Bee as freezers. And I thought, oh my god, that like would add so much cool detail. And because I'm going for a Victorian look as well, like it's just perfect. So I definitely wanted to use these freezers and add that extra bit of detail here and there, because I don't know how many times I'm going to see this in a speed build, but I want everything to look grand, ornate and detailed, like really Victorian. So that was a really cool little building tip that I picked up from watching that speed builder. Some more little details. I use these 42 cornices by Deatharella on Tumblr. These are just so cool. You have to individually place them like the other little details in The Sims 2. You know the ones I'm talking about? The ones that are like, they got the little bumpies on them. You know the ones I'm talking about. If you've went in the architecture section of The Sims 2, they'll be there, but it's kind of like you have to place them individually. But oh my god, it really brought everything together, and I use them now and then a bit later on in the speed build to just add just more ornateness, because like these people are rich and I want you to be able to look at their house and be like, oh, so much money like went into this house. So I used a 3:2 century manor conversion for the roof, and I think later on in the speed build as well, I bring out this massive tower that is also from that conversion set. Now, of course, the Sims 2 Mansion and Garden has a roof set as well, but I don't know, I wanted a bit more detail, and I also wanted that massive tower that comes in the 3:2 century manor conversion as well. The one downside to the CC roof I use is that the windows don't actually act like windows. You know, in the way the Mansion and Garden roof, like the windows actually act like windows and you can like see through them and they provide light in the room. Yeah, it did not do the same thing for these CC roofs, which was a bit annoying. I did have to go in manually and like add my own windows where those windows were, but for the look I wanted to have, I'm alright with this. Now onto the changes I made to the Goth family. So Mortimer is a vampire. I think vampires, their kind of coding is that they're rich people that suck the life force out of the poorer people. That's what vampires began as, if you like look into like how they started and stuff. Vampire is always like a rich, older, typically white person. So that's Mortimer's a vampire. I made Bella a witch. She just gives me witch vibes. There's like no deep reason as to why. There's a deep reason why Mortimer's a vampire. There's no deep reason as to why Bella's a witch. I just think witches are cool and I like witches, so Bella is a witch. Oh, about Bella, actually, you know the whole Pleasantview thing where Bella goes to Don's condo and like looks at the telescope and then gets abducted? Yeah, nah, that didn't happen. Not in my Pleasantview. I don't like it, so it didn't happen. I just don't gravitate towards it. I don't find it interesting. There's like nowhere I can go with that. Like, okay, Bella gets abducted and then Mortimer just moves on straight away. But in The Sims 1, Mortimer and Bella were like deeply in love and they were kind of based off the Adam's family. So like, why did he move on so quickly? Also, the whole gold digger thing is like so overplayed and boring. Like, I don't know. I still do kind of sort of have the gold digger thing in the Caliente sisters' house already with Bella's brother Michael Bachelor, who is back, by the way. I resurrected him and stuff, so I still have that. That is still a thing that is there, but I just didn't feel the need to break up the Goth to have Dina Caliente like shack up with Mortimer. It's just not. I don't like it. It's not interesting, and it's my game, so I'm just not gonna play with it. So yeah, Bella is back and she's a witch and she's gonna be doing witchy things and being all cool. Probably get her like a voodoo doll. I don't know if she's gonna be a good or an evil witch. I'm gonna keep her neutral for now. Right now in my game, she is a neutral witch. Maybe good witch. I kind of see that for her. Of course, I've also changed the aspirations of everyone as well. I used Sophie the Puffin's secondary aspiration calculator for their primary and secondary aspirations. Let me actually look in my aspiration spreadsheet and like see what their aspirations are. So Mortimer wants a huge family and he's a secondary good scientist, I think it is. Bella is a hard worker and her secondary is she wants to be the friend of the world. So she's very friendly, socialite, she gets along with everyone. I kind of view Bella Bella as a celebrity, not like a local celebrity, like a celebrity. So I feel like she definitely wants to be really friendly with everyone. And also her romance aspiration didn't really make any sense, and I didn't want to play as that. If I was going to resurrect Bella and bring her back, I want her to be, fucking around. I don't really see that for her. And Cassandra is a hopeless romantic. Now, Cassandra and Don are together. I did say this in the last speed build. They are still together. They're not engaged though. They're going steady. I feel like Cassandra can kind of view the end of the relationship. And because Don is polyamorous and he likes having multiple partners, Cassandra doesn't really see herself fitting into that because she is monogamous. And I think after being in a relationship with Don for a long time and seeing him flirt with other women, like she really doesn't like that. And she sees, Bella and Mortimer, her parents, and how loving their relationship is. And she just wants that for herself. She wants her person. She wants one guy to be with. So I'm not sure who she's going to shack up with. I'm not sure what her sexuality is. I think she's straight, but if she's bi, I don't know. I'll let her date around and see, explore her sexuality a bit more and see what's out there for her. But I really want Cassandra to just find someone she loves and settle down with them. Maybe have children. I don't know. She's secondary knowledge, so she's probably just going to want to focus on her career and her partner in the future. But Alex, of course, he's just a kid. We'll decide his primary and secondary when he ages up and stuff. But yeah, that's the Goth family. And I like the changes that I've made to them a lot. They feel a lot more enjoyable to play. I think the main reason why I didn't like playing Pleasantview in the first place was because the whole breaking up the Goths, who in my mind were just the perfect childhood sweethearts and they loved each other so much, randomly for Dina Caliente. I don't like that. Like, why would they do that? So I've reversed everything Maxis did, my bad Maxis, and did what I wanted, and I feel like I'll enjoy playing this a lot more than what's in the game. Said this before in my Dawn renovation, but why Pleasantview if I'm going to change so much of it now? Every time I start a base game neighborhood, I change all the houses, I add my own hood deco, and I also change the faces of all the Sims in the neighborhood. Not the townies, I don't care that much about the townies, but like the pre-mades. And I just like to add things that came in later iterations, like later expansion packs, XYZ. Obviously, I'm changing the game so much, so like, why even play Pleasantview and decide to play Pleasantview if I'm changing so much of the game? And that's because I want to, first of all. I just find it fun, and it's so much easier to change something that's already exists than to make your own custom hood. I'm starting to build a city challenge, and that takes up a lot of time. That it requires a lot. I've started like building my own hoods, but that also like takes a lot of time, and I want the stories to make sense, and they don't. It's difficult, it's hard, and so just starting, Pleasantview and just changing things up and adding things and playing however I want is really, really freeing. And I work. I work like pretty much full time, so it's like I don't really have the time to be making custom hoods and then going. I don't know. I just don't want to dedicate that much time to creating a custom hood when Pleasantview is like right there. So I'm just gonna do that instead. I did think having a proper garage would be like way too much, so I just wanted a nice little formal driveway area with a big fancy gate like you see in all those nice houses. Initially it was on the right side, but I changed it to the left side and like shrunk the lot on the right side because it was just a lot of dead space for no reason. I could have potentially made it smaller, but I like went into lot adjuster and then things happened. So I'm alright with the size it is now. Maybe at some point I'll change it, but for now I'm alright with the way it looks. I did add a greenhouse on the back side of the house simply because, right, Mortimer is a vampire and so he can't really be out in the sun like that. So why not have a greenhouse where he's not in direct contact with sunlight and he gets to be out in nature and like have his little garden? It'll be cute. Plus, it allows me to have a family that I can utilize Lamar and T Vicky, I think it was, their mod that lets you buy seedlings and seed packets and stuff and just have them do that little thing there. So that's why I added that little greenhouse. Obviously, in my Pleasant View, I want Bella to be famous. I want everyone to know her. I want her to be a celebrity in not just Pleasant View, but like all of SimCity. And so I'm going back and forth on as to why she's famous. Like, why do people know her? I'm thinking maybe she's like an actress or something, so she's in movies and stuff, or maybe she's just a beautiful model and people like the way she looks. But to me, Bella is like, you know, the way the Kardashians are famous and people don't really know why, like what, like why they're famous. I feel like Bella is that, but I also want her to like do something and like actually do stuff. I feel like she might be a philanthropist, so she'll donate to charities and like build houses. Also, I feel like the Goths might be like landlords, and so they might own a couple houses. I'm in my mind envisioning them owning like the trailer park district, so you know where Brandy lives and stuff. I envision them owning some of those houses, and so when people move in, they like pay rent to the Goths, so they have that continuous like residual income that comes in every now and then. So even if they retire and stuff, they still get money because, of course, yeah, they earn money and what's up and whatever. But for someone to be that rich, it's not just because they're working a high end job. Like, no, something is happening there. Like something has happened. So I want them to own some businesses, to own some lots and have people pay rent and stuff and really get their money up, get their breads up and that kind of stuff. But I'm really going back and forth. Like, I don't know what Bella could be. In my mind, I started making her a writer, so she writes novels and stuff. But I mean, do you really know that many like famous writers? Like, of course we have like Stephen King and unfortunately J.K. Rowling, the transphobe that she is. But you have some writers that like get really famous, but you don't really see them as like a cult of personality where people really love the way they look. And I feel like for Bella, people find her very attractive and very beautiful, and she's all over billboards and she's all over magazines and stuff. So it doesn't really make sense for an author to be all over magazines, and that doesn't really make sense. So maybe she's a singer. I don't know, that could be cool, right? Being like a singer in like a jazz band, or I want something that's classical and something that's, you know, very, very classy, but also something that is undeniable. Maybe a singer, you know, like Adele, even though she's a singer, like she has just this classy vibe to her. Maybe that's Bella. Perhaps I'll make Bella a singer. I'll see if I can get like a custom career for Bella or something. Or she could be in the showbiz career, but showbiz kind of gives me like CD actor, actress, and Bella's not that. She is like that girl. So you know what? I'll make her an actor. I also want to get into making my own custom content as well, and I want to make like my magazines and posters with Bella, because I have my own custom Bella. Like I changed her genetics up and changed her face and gave her like a nice aquiline nose and stuff. So I want want Bella to be posing in all these different like photo shoots, and I just want to make CC and posters of my own Sims because all the custom content that I have of other people's Sims doesn't really fit into my game. So that is something that is on the to-do list for me. One thing about the OG Maxis Goth Manor that I really did not like was the color palette was given Christmas. There was bright red, there was bright green, there was loads of like the disgusting redwood that Maxis like has for some reason. I really didn't like the way the interior of the house looked at all because it was just so gaudy and wasn't classic or old money whatsoever. So honest to God, gothic color palette on Pinterest, the first thing that came up, I gravitated towards that, and I just tried to stick with that color palette while furnishing. So everything was kind of this dark, muted kind of tone, but it really fit the vibe of the Goths because before, like, it was looking like Party City. I don't know what's going on. It was looking like costume version of richness, but in this iteration of the Goth Manor, I really wanted it to look like they're actually rich and they actually have a lot of money to spend. So less vibrant stuff and just all muted tones and desaturated tones, which I really gravitated towards and liked. The kitchen was actually set from Mod The Sims called Manor House, I think. It comes with a kitchen set and a garden set, and I'm not sure if it comes with anything else. Maybe a bathroom, not too sure. I think I might have used that in the bathroom later. It was either that or something from Pineapple Forest. Anyway, it has this thing called a dumbwaiter. I don't have a Scooby-Doo what a dumbwaiter is. I've never seen one in my life, but it looks really fancy. So I knew that I wanted a dumbwaiter in the kitchen, even though I don't know what it's used for. I don't know what it is, and I don't know why it's there. I think it looks really cool, so I had to include that and I added it in. One of the main things that I really didn't want to do when I started this channel was surprisingly make Pleasant View content, which I know sounds shocking. Like, what the hell? That's such a strange thing to not want to do. But in my defense, or like to explain my reason as to why I thought that, I was thinking, first of all, I really like Strange Town. Strange Town is the one thing that I enjoyed the most. So I'm probably just going to stick to Strange Town content. And that is what I did for the longest time because that's just what I gravitated towards. I like Strange Town. I'm just going to build for Strange Town and have a Strange Town let's play. That's cool. That's fine. Whatever. And also, a lot of Pleasant View just didn't gravitate towards me. I just didn't really like the stories or anything like that. So it never really gravitated towards me. And I think one of the major reasons as to why I didn't want to make Pleasant View content whatsoever was literally because it's like the most popular Sims 2 hood. And so people are going to click on it, whether it's me talking about the video or not, because it's Pleasant View and people just want more Pleasant View content. And I was like, yeah, no, I want people to click on this channel because they actually genuinely enjoy me and what I have to say instead of clicking on it because they like Pleasant View. But as I'm thinking about it now, who even cares? Because people are clicking on the video because I assume they like The Sims 2. That's not stopping me from posting Sims 2 content. Like, why should that stop me? Just because more people like Pleasant View than Strange Town shouldn't stop me from creating videos about Pleasant View. I think slow and steady wins the race. So even if I earn 1 subscriber a year, at least I'm doing things I love and things I enjoy. But I'm actually so stubborn. Let me just make the Pleasant View content, and maybe I won't stick around and make it forever, and I'll move to other things and other series, like other game series. So I'll probably do a legacy challenge. I'll probably do a legacy challenge, or I'll probably do something else. I'll try other things out, but I don't need to restrict myself so heavily to not do one base game hood because it's the most popular hood and people might not like come to my channel for me and might only come for my channel to see the hood. Who cares? Like, who's bothered? A lot of the older looking furniture that you see me using in this renovation lot, bead build, whatever, is actually from a creator called Adele, who has a lot of stuff on Mod The Sims and her own personal website as well. So it's a bunch of super fancy looking Victorian sets, and that was definitely the vibe I was going for. Yeah, but I did have a lot of pink fashion with this lot because all the stuff was so detailed. So even in the dining room, you'll see me not renovate, but decorate that later. I had like tables and like place settings, and I had to get rid of them while I was playing because the table could still function with the place settings. But oh my god, the pink flashing in this lot is crazy. I think it's such a big lot. It has so much like fancy furniture in it. The game just couldn't handle that. So as I'm playing, I'm just gonna keep removing more and more furniture. But it looks nice, and it looks nice in pictures. So that's all I care about right now. For the dining room, I did want a super big fancy dining room because in my mind, I kind of see Bella as like a socialite. So she'll have lots of dinner parties. Obviously, they have like a butler, so he'll be making all the meals, but she'll invite all her high society friends and like have talks. I'm thinking maybe in the future connecting Blue Water Village to my Pleasant View as well, because there's just not enough families in Pleasant View. So I definitely want the Landgrabs and the Goths to have a friendly kind of connection and be business partners and talk about fancy schmancy stuff like that. I definitely envision them having a black cat, so you'll see a bunch of like cat trees and little pet balls around the house and stuff. I think it's because Bella's a witch, so I just see a witch, black cat, goths. I don't know. I really see that for them. I also see them having a bird, so I don't know how the bird and the cat are gonna get along. Maybe they won't. Maybe the cat's gonna gobble the birds up, but we'll have to see. Whenever I search Victorian living room, Victorian XYZ, they would always have these like ornate photo like picture galleries on the wall. So in various points in the house, like in the living room, I think in Cassandra's bedroom as well, I will be putting up these photo galleries, but I think they look really cool. I really like the way they look. I watched a video about this guy who had this massive gaming backlog of all the games that he'd wanted to play or started to play and didn't finish, and he just kept putting it off and putting it off. And I thought to myself, like, I have so many games or so many movies or so much anime that I want to watch and I just haven't for no reason. I think for me personally is I think to myself, oh no, I can't start doing this thing because I need to be productive. I need to do XYZ. And so I will stop myself from doing things I enjoy because I need to be producing something. But that would just mean that I'd spend all day in bed just scrolling away because I was like, no, I can't start doing this thing that objectively doesn't do anything. So I'll just procrastinate until I need to do something. But I put my foot down after watching that video because it really inspired me to start doing things I enjoy. So honest to God, I pre-ordered Tears of the Kingdom, right? It's the sequel to Breath of the Wild and I loved Breath of the Wild. I still love it now. Sometimes like I'll hop in and play or whatever. Breath of the Wild is a massive, massive game. Tears of the Kingdom is like 3 times the size of Breath of the Wild. And so I got like 40 hours into it, decided that I don't really like how I'm playing. I'll just restart it. And then I restarted it and then I just didn't really get too far. I got to like the tutorial and I was like, I've already played this. I don't know why I started to restart it, blah, blah, blah. I was thinking that was such a stupid decision. And then I dropped the game. After watching that video, I picked the game back up. I'm telling you, within a week, I have doubled the amount of time that I spent on Tears of the Kingdom because it's such an engaging game. It's so engaging. It's so fun. And I was like stopping myself from engaging in it because I thought to myself, like, if I'm not in work, I should be working towards something. I should either be like playing the game and updating my blog or, you know, editing videos for my YouTube channel. And I was burning myself out because I wasn't doing the things I enjoyed. I was doing things in order to produce content for other people and I didn't like it. I want to just enjoy myself and have fun and have me time. So after watching that video, I was like, yeah, I made the notion to like track all the games that I want to play. I have like this big growing list of games that I've always wanted to try out and buy, like Metal Gear Solid, Bayonetta. There's just so many games I wanted to try, and whenever I want to play a game, I just go, oh, let me play The Sims. Let me further my progression in The Sims 2 because I have so many hoods in The Sims 2. Let me just further my progression. And I was burning myself out on The Sims 2 because I was only playing that game, and I have other games that I can play. I have Steam on my laptop right now. I can play games on my laptop, and I'm like forcing myself, I'm pigeonholing myself into playing Sims 2 when I have so many other games. So I don't know. know if this is inspiring to anyone, but get out your comfort zone and like try new things, because I was really like forcing myself to play the same game over and over again and like stressing myself out about it. Now that I've literally put a whole work week into Tears of the Kingdom, and I've really like enjoyed it, I'm thinking there's definitely other games that I have on my Switch, on my laptop, that I just haven't been playing that I definitely need to get into right now. I literally have Hollow Knight. I have not started playing Hollow Knight. I got it on sale because it was for sale on the Nintendo eShop. Got it for sale. Haven't even started it. I bought this game, Mark of the Ninja, like a couple years ago. I've only got like 5 hours into it. I need to finish these games and I haven't done it. And so I have this massive collection of games that I've been hoarding and I just keep going back to the same game over and over again. This isn't to say that I hate The Sims 2, because I don't. I love The Sims 2. Sims 2 is an amazing game and I love it, but I have other games and there are other things that I can do with my time to really enjoy myself. There's only so many experiences I can have in the world, and so why am I limiting myself to just one game when I can have multiple? I'm not, obviously this channel is particularly going to be a Sims 2 channel, maybe Sims 3, maybe Sims 4, but I don't see myself bringing any of the games to this channel. But I definitely want some games that I can play for myself and just enjoy them and not really have to think about content or think about recording or think about like posting on a blog. I just want me time, and I think after that solid week of like every day 10 hours I would just spend on Tears of the Kingdom, exploring, gallivanting, doing side quests, doing missions, I really enjoyed it. So I need to do that more often. I think another main reason as to why like so many people experience burnout, especially people who are hobbyists on YouTube, is that they're comparing themselves to like corporations or people who have YouTube as a hobby. So of course I can't upload weekly videos or like videos 2 times a week, and I was trying to do that. I was trying to be like, oh, every Monday I'll do this, every Wednesday I'll do this, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I am just one person who has a job, who has family and friends that I need to speak to, that I love, that I'd love to talk to in real life. I have grass that I need to touch. Like, I can't juggle all these things and on top of that take on this massive workload of something that I'm supposed to enjoy. I enjoy making YouTube videos and YouTube content, and I enjoy playing The Sims, but I somehow turned it into like this thing that I needed to do at all times to keep on top of the algorithm, to make sure people didn't forget I existed. And it's like, if a YouTuber that I liked uploaded like once a year, I'd be chuffed. Literally, one of my favorite YouTubers, H-Bomber Guy, uploads like once a month, once a year, possibly. I don't know, he like doesn't upload consistently. Every time he uploads though, I love the content because you can tell all his heart went into it. And it's like, it should be the same with me. Like, even if I don't upload consistently, people should be able to like look at my content and be like, oh yeah, you really like put effort into this. Obviously I'm saying this as I'm making literally just a speed build, right? It's not really the most in-depth kind of content a person could make, but I feel like the sentiment still stands of, I'm not just churning slop out just to get seen in the algorithm. I want this content to be something that I can rewatch and be proud of. And the Dawn renovation, I look at that and I'm proud of it. My last video of the Kind family, I look at that and I'm proud of it. I want to just keep creating things that I'm proud of. But if I keep comparing myself to people who have machines behind them where they can constantly be like pumping out content, of course I'm gonna feel like I'm not doing enough, because how can me, one person, possibly compare to like a team of 5 people? It's insane, and there's no way that me as one person can do that. And I think one of the main reasons as to why loads of hobbyists on YouTube feel the need to constantly churn out loads of content is because they don't want their views to drop. They don't want their views to like stagnate or get low, or people to forget about their channel. But I was thinking about this before and how my perspective has changed. So the start of my channel, when I was uploading, I wanted to upload videos because I like watching speed builds. I just like watching speed builds. I've always gravitated towards watching how buildings are built. I literally did a degree in architectural engineering because I just love buildings that much. Like, I'm actually such a nerd. So it did eventually drop out, but like that was the main reason why I started that degree, is because I love buildings so much. And so I love The Sims and I love watching buildings, you know, come into fruition. And so I wanted to start my channel so people can watch my builds and see how they come across. And like, I don't think I'm the best builder in the world, but I feel like my builds are interesting and people like watching them, so that's why I uploaded them. I was very happy with just 100 people seeing my videos, but now that I've like gotten that little taste of like what 1k views feels like, every time a video of mine gets below 1k, I'm like, oh, what's wrong with the video? Why don't people like it? But for that, like, perspective wise, when I just started the channel, like, I did not care about getting getting hundreds of thousands of views because I was just enjoying the content. Of course, I wanted people to see the video. That's why I made the video in the first place. I wanted people to see it. But if I got 400 views, like when I started the channel, do you know how happy that would make me? But my last video got like 400 as of the time of recording this. My last video got 400. I'm like, why doesn't it get more? But I'm like, who even cares? Like, actually, like perspective wise, I don't even know 400 people in real life. I don't think I've met 400 people in real life. So 400 people watching a video on some obscure 20-year-old game that's like almost as old as me, like that's pretty decent. I'm trying to rewire my brain to not seek out so much validation from people I don't know online because it's not even that important. I'm doing this as a hobby. If I decide to take 2 years off and come back randomly, I'm pretty sure, of course, some people are going to unsubscribe, but the people who were there after my hiatus are going to be like, oh my god, where were you? How have you been? Can't wait for new content. Like that's, people aren't as like evil and mean as a lot of people think they are. If my favorite YouTuber just suddenly stopped making videos and they came back suddenly, I'd be like, oh my god, yay, yippee, my favorite YouTuber's back. Like I wouldn't even care that much. So I'm trying to change my perspective, stop comparing myself to like others and just have a happy life. Whenever I build a bathroom, like a family bathroom, I tend to always go for a 3x2 or a 2x3 just because it's the minimum amount of space that you can have for a bathtub, a sink, and the toilet, obviously. Like everything just fits perfectly together, and then you can have a little door on the inside. But because the house is so big, I was able to have bathrooms that could be as large as I could possibly want. So I think at some point you saw me have a 3x2, and I was like, no, actually, I'll have one big shared bathroom at the bottom that Cassandra and Alex can share, and then obviously Bella and Mortimer can have their own big bathroom because the house is massive. I don't need to have these teeny tiny 3x2 bathrooms when they can have these big luxurious and grand bathrooms with a really nice set that I think I got from Pineapple Forest on Mod The Sims, but they're also on Tumblr as well. If not Mod The Sims, it's definitely on Mod The Sims. I feel like it's definitely on Mod The Sims, either Pineapple Forest or it's the Manor House collection, but I'm not too sure which one it is in. I did give bathroom some really nice pretty like adornments from various other sets as well, but that was the main set that I did use. Playing this Pleasant View off cam, I haven't gotten too far into it. I think I've literally played a day with everyone because I played one day and then I switched and then played one day, switched to the next household. But it's actually kind of freeing. It's really, really freeing. I still haven't gotten to the Pleasance at all. Yeah, I have not got to the Pleasance. I'm kind of like dreading their house because I just don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe it's going to be like a suburban house. But whatever Maxis did with the Pleasant house needs to be like studied because why does it have like a Tudor kind of vibe going on? And then the attic at the top that's like not weatherproof. Like there's so much going on with the Pleasant house. It's like kind of scary. And then before, I had my Maxis Makeover series and I might restart that so I can have more houses for Pleasant View. So I might actually do that. I do have some houses that are already kind of there, but I've reworked my downloads folder since then. So I might genuinely just like redo the houses. I don't know though. I'm going to see how I feel. I still need to move in the lot bin, the family bin people. So the oldies, I need to move in the burbs. And then I also have Tutorial Joe and Tutorial Jay. Now they're Joe and Jay Newbie and they're actually related to Brandy because Brandy is is the daughter of the newbies. Well, she obviously married, so her surname changed. But Joe and Jane are siblings of Brandy, so I feel like that's going to be really interesting to see what kinds of people they are. I'll just experiment with having more people in the hood, and then I want to add Blue Water Village at some point to have like the shopping districts and to have, you know, businesses and stuff. Because ever since I started my BACC, I really enjoyed playing businesses. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to like all the different families and how they interact. I'm not too sure about a uni. I might just make a uni district in Pleasantview and not have like external uni. I don't really gravitate towards Sim State University. I don't know, it's just not really my thing. But I might have like apartments for uni students and just like a whole section and whole area for that. Maybe my own custom uni. I don't know. A lot of things. I have a lot of ideas juggling in my brain right now, but I'm gonna focus on one thing at a time because that's the thing. Like I have so many ideas and I just burn myself out thinking about them. Now, I did have a main bedroom for Bella and Mortimer in the main bedroom area, the second floor, first floor, the ground floor, first floor, first floor. And the second floor where the attic is they have their own separate kind of studies. So Bella has her, you know, witch's coven with her cauldron and all the books and whatever she needs to do to like go up in witch rank or whatever the hell. And then Mortimer has his own like vampire lair with the coffin and he can just go in and sleep during the day. Because I feel like even though Bella and Mortimer like to sleep together in the same bed, Mortimer also needs his own space to like do his vampire things. Plus, I'm pretty sure vampires earn energy quicker when they're in the coffin, but I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but yeah, they have their own little spaces, but they decide to come together in the night and like sleep and have a fun little good time. Very happily married. I love that for them. I love these carpets. I think they're 42 conversions of these vacuumed carpets. I don't know where I got them from, probably most definitely on Tumblr. But yeah, these are beautiful. I love the texture of them. And so I use them in the bedrooms and I'm pretty sure in the living room downstairs as well. I used it in Alex's bedroom. Now, Alex's bedroom is like really mature because he's a kid. You'd expect him to have like a kid's bedroom, but because I think in his bio it says he doesn't really fit in with other children, I feel like him having a more grown up kind of je ne sais quoi to his room kind of made sense. So he still has toys in his room. He has literally a cabinet for toys. Like I feel like he's very put together and like kind of strange compared to other kids who are a bit messy at XYZ. He really likes to keep himself really neat and tidy and cares a lot about appearance and stuff. I'm still not sure on his personality. I'm still having to figure that out. Of course, he's a kid. He has his whole life to figure out what kind of person he is. But for now, I'm like trying to decide what kind of person Alex will be in my playthrough. How are you feeling? Like, honest to God, because of the current climate we're in right now, the cost of living and all the crazy stuff that's happening. Like, right now, currently in the UK, there are loads of riots and demonstrations that are happening and stuff. And it's like physically unsafe for me to leave my house. And it's an overwhelming feeling when suddenly one day you can't even go to work because the buses are just stopping. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot right now. So I'm like, how are you? How are you feeling? What's going on with you? What's going on in your life? People are experiencing the world so differently. The best day in the world for me could be the worst day in the world for someone else. What could be a normal day for me playing Tears of the Kingdom could be a day where someone, I don't know, broke up with their loved one or, had to move countries. Like, everyone lives so differently. So how's your day been? I know people tend to put Cassandra and Darren together because obviously Darren has had this big crush on Cassandra for a while now, but I'm not too sure. I feel like Darren obviously wants to start a family or wants to, of course, he's mourning the loss of his late wife Darlene and he feels very upset at that. And he wants to move on and he sees Cassandra and she's a beautiful girl and she's got things going on for her and she's just not being treated well and I treat her so much better and maybe Cassandra really likes that attention from him. I'm not too sure whether she sees anything going on with Darren or whether she wants to date around and just see who else is out there because of course I've decided right now, as of recording this right now, I've decided I'm going to add Blue Water Village onto my Pleasant View as well. And so there's defo other eligible bachelors for her to engage with and for her to speak to. And she doesn't just have to be with Darren. There are other men out there. So Cassandra might go on a couple of dates with him, but we'll see how it's feeling, if the vibe's right. Maybe, when you have a crush on someone sorry, and you're just romanticizing them in your brain, you're like, oh, this person is perfect, this person is XYZ. Maybe Darren has just been romanticizing Cassandra for so long because she's something that he can't have because Cassandra, even though of course Don is poly and he has an open relationship with all his partners, Cassandra really can't see herself flirting with anyone but her partner. So Cassandra's always been out of reach for Darren, and so maybe perhaps him seeing her in a relationship and her not wanting to be with others, even though like she technically can, she just doesn't want to. He's falling in love with the idea of Cassandra and not actually Cassandra herself. I don't actually know if Cassandra and Darren are like even that close of friends in the game when you boot it up. I have no idea. I don't have a clue, so we'll have to go in and like see what's going on with that. But I'm not too sure. I also see a Darren, like, there's other women out for him as well. Of course, him and Cassandra would be so cute together and it would be really nice for them to be together and stuff. But I don't know, it's time for me to experiment. I don't want to make the same couples over and over again because that can be a bit boring. Like, of course, that's the main reason why I broke up Ina and Mortimer was because I found that boring. And even though Cassandra and Darren is kind of cute and heartwarming, that is also incredibly boring. So I don't have to do it if I don't want to. There are going to be other Sims, other playables. The Townies are going to be there. We've got Blummin, Tutorial Joe and Tutorial Jane. I could split them up if I want. I'm not going to, but if I wanted to, I could split them up. So I've got options here. I can do whatever I want and I don't have to stick with Darren and Cassandra, but it would be cute to see. Maybe they'll date for a while. It's not going to be permanent. I'm not the type of person where if a Sim gets with another Sim, that's it. That's all. Like, it's it. No. I like to have my Sims date around and like see who really fits them and see the vibe. So we'll see the vibe with Cassandra, see if she's feeling Darren, see if Darren's feeling Cassandra. And if it doesn't work out, you know what? Life's short. We can move on. Darren, I feel like he still wants to extend the family. I think that's one of his aspirations. I'm not too sure. I will have to check because I did change the aspirations. But I think one of his aspirations is family. So he does want to expand the family and have, Dirk be an older brother. And Cassandra, maybe she'll have kids. I feel like she's a bit undecided on that. Who knows though? Now, for the townies, I'm going back and forth on whether I want them to be playable or not. I'm thinking to separate the townies into like actual households. So it'll be mom, let's say mom, dad, child, I don't know, like nuclear families, just so I don't have like a massive orphanage of just random like miscellaneous children. I know Marticore has, made families and stuff, but there's no like actual notation or anything written down as to see what she's done. So I have to like watch the video and like write down what she's done, which is so annoying. Like I it's so petulant. This is such a first world problem. Like just watch the video in it. Like shut up. Like just watch the video. But it's like I want to create these households and have them into like their own separate things. It like takes a lot of time to do that. Like damn, I'm gonna have to like watch this video and like see, okay, this person and this person with this kid. And sometimes she won't even say the names of the townies, she'll just show them. Like, but why aren't you telling me which townies are, oh, even thinking about it's getting me hot. Like why isn't she explaining who's in what and what's where and like why? So that's like frustrating. And I'm not really seeing any other like people who have decided to like put these townies together. So I'm thinking maybe possibly right. I'll have to make a spreadsheet of every single Pleasant View townie, of the genetics, what face they have, what like eye color, hair color, recessive even if I want to go that far, and then group them into the genetics and make them families, just so, because I don't want to be playing 50 billion households. When I was playing my Strange Town with my townies, I got them into one big household. Who's mates, who's friends, okay, use or go. And then the children, I just put them all in one big orphanage. Like I didn't even think about it, but I want to be more, I want to actually think about this. I don't want it to be like oh, let's just slap people in so I can like actually play the game. No, I want to sit down and probably think about it. Even with Strange Town, I'm possibly thinking to myself, I'm gonna go back in and do the whole like whatever like genetics and see who will really pair up with who. So I don't have like a massive orphanage, because having that many kids in an orphanage is crazy. And I also still want to play with active schools. That's really fun. Maybe some active careers, who knows? I'm not really the best at active careers though. If you've watched my let's plays, you'll know I'll say, oh, active school, and then I'll play with it like once a week when I remember. But I like having the option of an active school. So I want to keep that in mind. It'll be really cool to play. I don't know. I really do want townie families to like be proper like families though, and that's gonna take a while. Once I do that though, I will post it on my blog about how I've divided up the townies and why I've done the things that I've done. That is gonna take a while, but I don't know. Sometimes I get very, very into a game and I get very, very into The Sims and like sorting things out. Sometimes I spend more time sorting things out for the game than actually playing it, and that's fun for me. So I feel like I'll enjoy sorting out the townies. But one thing that starting like renovating this Pleasant View has taught me is that renovating a hood takes so much time. I thought, okay, this is the easier option. Instead of like making my own custom hood, I can just renovate a hood. Oh, how easy. Because I'm such a perfectionist, it takes forever and I don't want to start playing if everything isn't perfect. So that's kind of like sucking the enjoyment out of it. Now, I hate to be a person that is constantly copying other people. I think imitation is the best form of flattery though, but I'm thinking, should I start a small little series like a legacy challenge? Now, I know because I'm subscribed to BB Pixels and he started a legacy challenge and I'm like, oh my god, this looks so fun. I want to try this. I've never actually done a legacy challenge is the thing. Actually, no, that's a lie. Years ago, when I used to play The Sims 3, my old family computer, I started a legacy challenge. I got to 3 generations and then the save corrupted out of nowhere and I could no longer play it. It broke my heart. I don't know why it happened to this day. Like, it's so scary. People talk about Sims 2 corruption. Sims 3 corruption is like keeps me up at night because there were no signs that game was corrupted until suddenly one day I went to play it and it wouldn't open. And this was before I knew that backing up is like advisable. So I was just playing the game. I wasn't backing up. I was saving on the same save file. Like, I was also like 14, so like I wasn't proper tech savvy. I'm 14 years old. Like, I just want to play The Sims 3. But yeah, that was heartbreaking. That was so heartbreaking. So I think ever since then I've been like, yeah, if I start a legacy challenge, I'm not even going to finish it. But watching BB Pixels and how fun it seemed, I want to start my own legacy challenge and I want to build my own hood. But however, right, before I know I'm building Pleasant View right now, hear me out. It will literally just be like 3 community lots. I have backlog of community lots from like other things that I've done. I have this really nice fancy restaurant I built in Strange Town that I'm yet to like post that. Actually, no, I have posted it on my channel. Yeah, I've posted it. I'm lying. I did a stream about it, but yeah, I have this really fancy restaurant I could put in there. I've got parks and stuff. I can build a nice park. I can whack out a nice park in like 2 seconds, decorate a nice hood in like one day. I'll do like a big stream rating the hood for my legacy challenge and then create a founder. In my mind, I want the founder to be an alien and I want her to like want to spread her alien genes throughout the whole of this town. I don't know. That would be interesting to play as. I'll have to like go back and forth on like a story that I want to portray and stuff. It doesn't have to be anything concrete, but I just want like a general idea of a vibe that I'm going for. And then I might play a legacy challenge and also have story progression mod because even though I like playing rotationally, it like takes a lot out of me sometimes. Like, it's a lot to play rotationally and set up a whole hood for rotational play. It's quite a lot. If I can just focus on one sim and everyone else kind of does their own thing, that would be like really fun to play as, and it will be a lot less than having to play rotational, like to go through all these different hoops and like whatever. So I might do that. I'll keep you guys updated if I do like properly decide on having a legacy challenge. I think that would be quite fun and play it on the channel as well. Of course, I'm gonna give BB Pixels her flowers and be like, hey, this isn't completely my idea, like whatever. But yeah, I feel like it would be really fun. Let me know though if you would be interested in seeing a legacy challenge. feel like I've been yapping forever, but yeah, this marks the end of the speed build. So look at all these lovely pictures of this house that you've just been seeing get built. I have a Tumblr, a blog, so follow me on Tumblr. I'm not as active as I used to be because obviously life gets in the way and that, but you know, whenever I post, you'll be privy to that. I have a Tumblr, I have a Discord server, you know, pop in, say hi, post gameplay pictures. I'll say hi sometimes. Cool, it's vibe. Nice little chill vibe. I think that's it. Yeah, it's for now.